Within the game, we are able to destroy wasps for coins. There are certain circumstances which we are able to destroy these wasps in our vehicles, allowing for fast and easy coin collecting. These are what the community refers to as freebies, and this video aims to help those who do not completely understand how the system Radical put in place works. Throughout the video, you will see clips of gameplay to help visualize what I am currently explaining at that segment. Within the gameplay in the top left, you will notice that there is a little debug mode. I hope that by enabling this setting, it will make what is happening with the wasps clearer to the viewer rather than just having to take what I'm doing and my actions as pure evidence. And at the same time, if you would like to try this out yourself, the debug mode mod is a part of Lucas's mod launcher by default. When you open up the launcher, just press the developer tab, and then there is a mod called debug text, which you should just be able to enable. To navigate through the menus, you should use R and T. The setting that I am using to explain wasps is setting 28, as this is the setting which shows actors. What I would suggest looking for, while I have this menu up, is for seeing which wasp actor is spawned. The wasp which is spawned will appear in little brackets, so for example, the wasp by the playground next to the neighbor's house is called W_lemon, and the neighbor's is called W_Simpson. So there's somewhat identifications of where they are, although sometimes they're not completely accurate. It's just the way that Radical decided to name them. Following the name of the wasp actor, you will see whether or not it has collision or not. Generally, this is just put in brackets at the very end. If it has collision, it will not have anything at the end. If the actor does not have any collision enabled, at the very end it will say in brackets collision disabled. This is just a way for you to see whether or not the wasp has collision or not when it is spawned. Before I actually go into anything, I just want to cover a common misconception within the community. If we kill a wasp that had its actor state alive, when we destroy that wasp, whether it be in a vehicle or on foot simply by jump kicking, the actor's state will be set to dead. There is a very common misconception within the community where people seem to think that if you kill a wasp on foot, that would still allow you to kill that actor as a freebie. This is in fact false, because no matter how the wasp dies, it will always remove its collision. Putting a little more explanation into actors, they can have one of two states, and put simply, these are alive or dead. If an actor is alive, its collision will be loaded and it can be killed with a vehicle or just simply by ground pounding. Obviously, for the dead, this is completely the opposite, and why sometimes we are unable to get freebies when we would maybe expect them. Having explained actors and their states, I will now move on to how wasps are assigned their actors. Generally, the wasps will cycle between the first and second actor within a level, and this is true in most cases. There are 2 levels in which this doesn't apply, but for the most part this is the general rule. When you first mission warp into a level, there will be no wasps loaded into any actor. Assuming that the level has only 2 actors, actors 1 and 2, the first wasp that you spawn will be assigned actor 1, and the second will be assigned wasp actor 2. What happens when you spawn a third wasp after you have spawned the second one? The next wasp will be assigned the very first actor. This is regardless as to if it was the wasp that you had spawned originally or a completely different wasp. As I said before, this is just the way that the wasps are assigned initially in the first 7 levels. There are 2 levels in which this application does not apply, and that is in level 1 and level 3. The reason for this is because these are the only 2 levels in the game to have 3 wasp actors, and as such, having a third wasp actor slightly changes how the cycles work. In order for the actor to even influence how the cycles work, we must first spawn it. The conditions to spawn the third wasp actor is just to simply spawn 2 wasps at any given time. I'm going to use the example of the little playground next to the neighbor's house in level 1. There is a wasp by the swings gag, and there's also a wasp in the neighbor's garden. If you were not to spawn any wasps before even going into this area, then how the wasp will be assigned is the first wasp that you spawn will be assigned actor 1. Providing that you do not kill that wasp, and not killing it is crucial here. The next wasp that would then be spawned would be wasp actor 2. However, when you go to spawn another wasp, instead of the wasp being assigned wasp actor 1, it will instead be assigned wasp actor 3. And now the game is in a cycle where it will switch between the third and the actor which was last spawned. So in the case of the video, it will be Wasp Actor 2, as it was the neighbour's Wasp which was assigned Actor 2. If I was to kill the neighbour's Wasp before I was to kill the playground Wasp, it would then switch between Actors 3 and 1 instead of Actors 2 and 3. To put this more into a general sense, whichever Wasp actor is despawned first will not be used in the next cycle. Instead, the last actor to be despawned and the unused actor will be used. As of this video being created, there are currently 9 locations which we know we are able to spawn 2 Wasps at any given time. In level 1, these are located at the bridge, the trail yard, the stone cutters, neighbours and the playground as I showed before, and the school. And in level 3, these locations are the dam, Camp Krusty, Duff Brewery, and using both the Planet Hype and the Beach Wasp. At the moment, there is very little application for routing in a third freebie, be it in ASM or in 100%. At the minute, the only route that is ASM viable is the Gazebo route for Better Than Beef. This route is currently within the Wasp route playlist that I am working on. In the future when new Wasp routes are discovered, I will upload a video and I will put it in that playlist, which is linked in the description. If there are any questions after this video, I will leave a link to the speedrun.com hit and run forums, where I would hope to answer as many questions as possible, as well as in the comments or in the Discord.